What if your dream home is actually a ticking time bomb? I'm serious. Are you about to fall in love with a house that is going to drain your wallet, wreck your weekends, and leave you thinking, what did I just buy? Most buyers have no idea what to look for. And that's exactly what sellers want. So today I'm going to give you 5 home types that you should absolutely not buy, especially if you're relocating to this area or a first-time home buyer. Hey, I'm Jerry Norman, real estate agent here in the Roseburg area. I get calls all the time from people looking to relocate here or first-time home buyers looking to buy here for the first time. I absolutely love it. And I want to help them avoid costly mistakes before they happen. These are the homes I see people fall for all the time. And if they buy them, they almost always regret it. Stick around, this list could save you thousands. And the last 2 on this list are the ones people overlook the most. So stick around and let's get on with the video. So the first one on this list is homes with bad foundations. A lot of the times the seller may say they've discounted it because of a bad foundation, but what I have seen in the Roseburg area are these homes are discounted by like $20,000-$25,000. Well, a foundation problem could cost upwards of $80,000 to $100,000. And just doing the foundation repair is not all of it. If that house needs to be jacked up off the foundation and worked on, then it's going to cause a lot more problems throughout the house. A $50,000 to $80,000 foundation repair is just the beginning. So that $20,000 discount off the price does not help anything. I get it. You're walking through a house and you may see some foundation cracks. Now some of them are just settling cracks and are not a very big problem. These houses have been sitting here for 50 to 75 years, and those small foundation cracks are just small settling cracks and nothing to really be aware of. What you really want to look for are doors that don't close correctly, diagonal cracks across the window, especially if it's all on one wall, or a series of cracks along one side of the house on the interior walls. This could show indications of something more in the foundation. Typically when I see a lot of cracks on one side of the house, on the interior, if I go outside and look at the foundation, I can see a ton of cracks or a bad foundation. Now I'm not a foundation expert, but these are the things I look for. And if I was touring the house with you, this is stuff I would show you. Another thing, here in Roseburg, we've got a bunch of different types of soil, and sometimes the houses will settle. So one thing you want to look out for are sloped floors. And I've walked through a lot of homes where those floors, you can really feel a good slope. It feels like you're walking downhill. I toured one house on a hillside outside of downtown. It was on a slab foundation. Now this would have been a huge nightmare to fix. That slab foundation had cracked and there was a gap. I mean, I tripped over this gap in the floor in the main living room. That house was discounted pretty well, but in my opinion, this is definitely something you want to watch out for. So if you are looking at a home and you think it's a bad foundation, or if you're just walking and realize the floors are shifting, there's probably something more than just a small uneven floor. This is one that I would run away from. And there are a lot of those here in Roseburg. Type number 2 house that you want to avoid is one with a lot of deferred maintenance. These are homes where everything is original. I mean everything. Roof, HVAC, water heater, electrical, and even the windows. So first off, what people are seeing in these homes are good bones. It's charming. It's a cute house. What the sellers are doing, they've priced it like this house is updated. And it is comparable to other homes that have been updated with vinyl windows, upgraded electric, new water heater, new furnace. So if you are looking at a home that has all original equipment, make sure that it is definitely priced accordingly. Because in these homes, what I see before you even move in, it's going to be a lot of things that are going to hit your wallet hard. If the roof is 20 years old, that's going to cost you a lot of money. If the HVAC is 20 years old, that's going to cost you a lot of money. And I don't even want to get into an outdated electrical system. These are all definitely things you want to watch out for. Take it from me, I just had to replace my hot water tank. My hot water just went out. My plumber buddy says, you just need to replace it. It's out of its warranty, 12 years old, you got to get rid of it. It's cost me over $1,000 to have that water heater replaced. So with these homes with deferred maintenance, if you get them for a great price, and I'm talking a really good price, you're still going to be doing more repairing than living over the first few months to a year. Could be higher insurance costs. And then if that HVAC system fails, you're going to have a lot of uncomfortable situations. It's not fun to have a bunch of space heaters while you're getting your furnace repaired. Or if it's an outdated furnace. There's a lot of homes here in the Roseburg area with really outdated furnaces. And then if you do make an offer on one of these, the appraisals, most of the time they may come in lower. So ask yourself, does this house just need a coat of paint or does it need everything? Because a home with charm and no updates is still a fixer, and it should be priced like one. Type number 3. All right, let's talk about homes in a high traffic area. Now look, I'll be honest with you, this one is a personal preference of mine. But for some people, this might be a regret that comes on later. So I just want to bring this one up and my personal beliefs on it. Now I'm talking about homes that may sit near the freeway that have a lot of road noise. The house may be quiet inside, but if you're out on the deck or out in the yard, it's going to be really hard to enjoy your property because of the freeway noise. And here in Roseburg, the freeway runs right through the middle of Roseburg. So there are some properties where it can be pretty loud. Now the ones that I really don't like are the ones on busy roads. I don't like having to pull in the driveway and then back out onto a busy road. I would prefer just to be able to back out of my driveway and take off and barely even have to look. If I was living on a busy road, I would hate that. Now, a lot of people don't mind, but this is one thing that I really don't like. Where on the other hand, if I was living near train tracks, now Roseburg has got a set of train tracks going through it, but the train doesn't run here very often. But I grew up near train tracks and it wasn't a problem for me. So maybe it's something I could get used to living on a busy road, but I don't think so. Living near train tracks, I don't think I would mind as much. And the same thing goes for living next to the school. I don't think I would mind living next to a school, but others will. So these are all things you want to really consider about homes in these type of locations. Is it the heavy traffic out front of your house? If you have kids, pets, this could really be an issue. If you live near train tracks, this could also be an issue. If you live near a school and you work nights and sleep during the days, this could be an issue. These are all things you want to take into consideration, and this also goes into effect with your resale value as well and the time on market. So some of these homes will sit on the market a lot longer because of these issues. Just one thing to be aware of. That this is probably the least issue on this list, but it definitely needs to be addressed because these could be issues for some potential buyers if you ever decide to resell. Type number 4. Now this one is going to be addressed towards the first-time home buyers. And it's not the type of home, it's the way to buy it. And that is rent to own. I've seen a lot of first-time home buyers get stuck into this trap, and that's exactly what they are. They are a trap. And here's how those work. First, you sign a contract to buy the home for X amount of dollars, which is typically a little bit more than what the house is worth in today's market. So for example, let's say a $350,000 home, you sign a contract saying that you're going to buy that home in 5 years for $370,000. And your rent is going to be, let's say, $1,500 a month. So, and then you need to put up a deposit of $2,000. Now you continue to make those rental payments, but here's the catch. If anything goes wrong, such as a hot water tank, HVAC system, the roof needs repaired, anything needs repaired, you are responsible as the tenant. Whereas if you were just renting a home, all you have to do is call your property manager or the owner of the house and say, hey, this is wrong, this needs to be fixed. In a rent-to-own situation, you are responsible for all the repairs. However, you do not need to pay the property taxes. That's handled by the owner. But what happens if the owner doesn't make their mortgage payments and forecloses on the house? You're out. I've seen this happen as well. Somebody signs an agreement as a rent-to-own. They're making their payments. They're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing. But the owner has taken out a loan on the house and defaults on it. Now the bank is kicking you out of your own home. That is not a good situation to be in. So all that money has gone away. If you've done any repairs, that's gone too. Now, After making all those payments for, let's say, a couple years, you decide it's time to buy it. Now you need to apply for a loan. Well, what happens if that house doesn't finance? Who's responsible to get it to finance? And if it doesn't finance, you're out that money. So these are all big, huge problems with these rent-to-owns. I've seen it where the buyer is making the payments and wants to pay it off, but the seller doesn't want them to, and starts ghosting the tenants. These are really bad situations. These contracts are horrible for you as the buyer, and I would never get into one of those situations. So if you are running across one of these or are even considering it, and if you're not sure if a rent-to-own is a smart move, give me a call or text. All that contact info is down below. I'll help you understand your options. And if you are in one of those, I've helped a lot of people get out of them. So feel free to give me a call. I'll help you get out of those. They are a really bad situation for you. If you are considering getting into one of those, the best option is don't. Save your money, build your credit, and be able to buy a house using a conventional type of loan. So as you can see, I'm pretty passionate about that one. Here is number 5, the last one. Pretty passionate about this one as well. Mobile homes in parks. All right, this is also a huge one, and it's something I talk to all the time with buyers. Manufactured homes in parks where you don't own the land. They might look affordable on paper, but for most people, they end up being a huge expense with very little upside. Now, I'll be honest, I do sell these, but most of the time, I'm just helping the seller get out of them because they're feeling stuck. And a lot of times, once a buyer gets into them, they realize that they're stuck as well. Here's what you need to know about manufactured homes in a park. You only own the house, and everything below the house is rented. Now, some of the good parks around here, those space rents could be $8, $9, $1,000 a month. And that space rent goes up every year. Currently, the last few years, it's been going up 10% a year. And these good parks, and even the lower cost ones, they don't offer any amenities. And traditional financing, VA, FHA, won't even finance them. And if you do find somebody that does finance them, and I do have some lenders that will, so if you need those, you can give me a call and I'll help you through it. But for financing a home in a park, your interest rates are going to be a lot higher than if you were to buy a stick-built home or even a manufactured home on its own land. And these homes tend to depreciate over time instead of gaining value. And for the sellers trying to sell these, they tend to stay on the market a lot longer. So your resale value is horrible and is very frustrating. I had a client that was really interested in one of these. The price for the home was $130,000, but they needed to get financing. So their interest rate was going to be 9.5%. And then you add the $900 space rent on top of that. And once they decided what their monthly payment would be, it was more beneficial to go out and buy a $325,000 house. The math just did not make sense for these. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of times these homes in a park do fit and are a good option for some, but not everybody. As far as one of my clients, if you are interested in buying one of those, we're going to definitely have some discussions and talk about it. And if it's not right for you, I'm definitely going to let you know. So that's my spiel on homes in a park. I don't think they're a great option, but for some, they are. So if you are seriously considering a home in a park, give me a call, text, email. Let's talk about it, and I'm happy to help you through it. So there you have it. There are my top 5 type of homes that I would suggest you do not buy. You definitely deserve better than a financial trap in a disguise. And if you can avoid these 5 mistakes, you're ahead of 90% of the home buyers out there right now. So if you are looking to relocate to the Roseburg, Douglas County area, feel free to download my relocation guide that's in the description below. And also, if you're a first-time home buyer, I've got a home buyer package down there also in the description. Feel free to download. They're free. And if you got some good information out of this, I put these videos out all the time about living, breathing, working, and sleeping and living here in the Roseburg area. Hit that subscribe and notification bell. And with that, you guys watch these other videos about living in Roseburg. Have a great day.